we're back with a brand new season. So of course I had to come with brand new setup, even in-person interviews, new guests, new episodes. So today, to kick off season 2, episode 1, I have USC men's basketball forward Isaiah Mobley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing real good. Happy to be here. Excited to be here and enjoying myself.
I know there's a lot of guys that pick up a basketball at the age of 2 and fall in love with the game. Some guys don't start even playing until the age of 15. When did you truly become immersed and introduced into the game of basketball?
My first word was ball, so that kind of tells you right there. Basketball was always kind of number one. Played some football and some other sports and stuff, but yeah, for me, ever since I can remember, I always liked to be around it and watch. And my dad would play in men's leagues, and we'd be in the stroller and we would just watch. So yeah, it's always been a love for me.
Yeah, your first word was ball. That's crazy. I feel definitely foreshadowed a lot. Talks about the environment in which you were raised in. Like you said, your dad played. Your brother as well. Talk to me about growing up playing basketball with your brother. What's maybe one quality that he has brought out in you?
It's a good question. He's taught me just poise, because he's super poised just in general, both on and off the court. So, but he taught me more poise on the court, just to relax and take the game steady. It's not, you don't have to always be so anxious or stuff to do stuff on the court. Yeah, just take it in stride. So that's what I would say.
How would you describe your guys' dynamic?
It's fun and it's funny. I feel like we're the perfect power or counterbalance between each other. He's more reserved, I'm a little more outgoing. But yeah, and we know each other really well. And it's more of I would say from a talking standpoint, it's a body language-ish. We kind of, I feel we always are thinking very similarly.
Yeah.
In different situations. So yeah, that's how I could best describe it.
I saw the video where he got you a car for your birthday.
It was super nice. I didn't expect it at all. I knew my birthday was coming up and I wanted a car. They got it for me a little early and hit me with the surprise. So that was super cool, something I'll always remember, and I'm super appreciative of it, because he didn't have to do that.
And then seeing his trajectory now, even during All-Star Weekend currently, during the Rising Stars game, and today with the Skills Challenge, what is it like seeing his trajectory as just growing up, knowing him personally and seeing him now in the league?
I haven't always been freakishly talented just at everything. Me and my cousin said, who used to play and stuff at Utah, we noticed it early when we were super little. He just did stuff different, and it was crazy because he could keep up. Even though he was younger than both of us, we always knew that he'd be special. We just didn't know in what, but or how far. But yeah, I think the sky's the limit for him. He's excelling. He seems like he's getting better by the game. In his rookie year right now, and yeah, I think he can achieve whatever he truly sets himself out to achieve.
You guys were both powerhouses in high school together. And coming out of high school, I know you were #1 recruit in California and #4 power forward in the country. I want to know, what is your take on rankings?
Rankings, I think they can be used as a tool, but I'm not the biggest agreeer of them, because it's number one, I feel the first problem with rankings is for the most part, people who don't or haven't played at the level that they rank even rank kids, and I feel that's the number one, that's the number one problem with them. Then after that, now especially, there's so much more things come into play, in terms of popularity and stuff like that, which can create another bias, or just seeing a kid more or less than someone else. So I'm just not the biggest fan of them, because they're just so like skewed, and there's no like concrete fact or way to prove anyone is so much better than them. And you could go to stats and stuff, but then you have to incorporate situations, which isn't statistical, and it's just like a whole like wormhole. So like I do think they can be as a tool, like just like a kind of guideline. Like I think even like if you say like I think these guys are the top 10, I'm not sure which order. I don't like, but you know you have feels like a ranges, which I think is a little more effective. Um, but also like just as a player, like from a competitive standpoint, like you do like them in a sense because you want to be the best. So yeah, that's my kind of take on rankings.
Yeah, that's true. I think you touched on the whole point where it's like, what's the criteria of it? And I know that was a topic of discussion with the whole NBA 75, like who's to judge and a lot of the snubs and, you know, that whole situation. And then you think of players like Steph Curry or John Morant who weren't even nationally ranked or, you know, so I think it does go to show like it's not really where you start, it's where you finish. But I did have another question. What do you think is better, a good player or a good teammate, and whether or not you think there is a difference?
Good player and good teammate. Oh yeah, I feel like there's a extremely like those are like yeah like few and far in between is like there's a gray area because you can be both, but you can definitely be one solely or the other. So good player, like I know like plenty of good players, but not all of them are good teammates though at all. So like yeah, I think there's like a huge difference in between that, just because too like when you are a good player, you can be a bad teammate by like I'm a good player or I'm the best player. I could shoot it every time and just not pass it, and if we still win, then it's great, and I got my numbers, and yeah, but like that's a bad teammate, and if you're not a good enough player, like you probably won't be too successful if you like taking that route. But I think being both a good player and a good teammate is like extremely important, and I feel like the better teammate you are, in most cases, can make you help you become a better player.
Would you consider yourself both a good player and a good teammate?
Yes, I would, but there's definitely times where I haven't been the best of teammates, I would say. But I feel like if an anonymous thing went out with my past teammates, like for the most part, about 80, I would say, 80 out of 100 would say that I was a good teammate to them.
So I want to get into a new segment that I like to call What's Really Good, where we kind of just get more into the details and kind of break it down. So for you, I'm going to look at, I found some scouting reports from high school, so I thought it would be interesting to,
I didn't even know.
Well, have you ever looked at them or?
In high school, no, not a chance. No, yeah.
Is that because you don't care for it or?
Just because at our high school, we did scouting reports on the teams, but unless they had one player that was well known, we just kind of went out there and just played.
Right. So this one is from 24/7 Sports. It says Mobley is an extremely skilled foreman with long arms and a high motor. He's got a terrific feel and can play facing up or with his back to the basket. How are we feeling about that so far?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
You like the sound of that?
Yes.
Okay, so Mobley has impressive ball skills for the position and can easily take smaller defenders off the dribble, while he's also a competent shooter.
Yeah, I feel like that one. I like that one better.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I could shoot it.
Range to three with jumper, can attack from high post, and has impressive footwork, post-up ability. Finishes well with both hands.
That's a good one too. That's nice.
He's loving
This is from high school?
Yeah, high school
wow.
scouting report. So rebounds in and outside of the area, blocks shots, and passes well for position.
Yeah, see, that one, I like. Obviously, that's all positive, so
right.
it's
We're
easy
gonna
to
get to the weaknesses.
Okay.
And then, this last one that they ended on was NBA upside is uncertain due to game becoming smaller, but his trajectory suggests he'll get there and carve out a role. How do you feel about, the whole NBA? I feel like it is more like small ball these days.
I do think it's more small ball. But I like it. and I think that plays to my game, because like I can handle it. I'm versatile. I feel like, so, um, yeah, like it's the game's changing, and you gotta like kind of keep up with it. So,
Adapt, yeah.
yeah.
So for this other one, NBADraft.net,
Hmm.
they first of all compared you NBA comparison, Taj Gibson.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? Yeah,
I think that's not the most accurate
right.
at all, but it's okay. Taj Gibson, yep.
Weaknesses: well coordinated, but isn't highly explosive or incredibly quick off the ground. And although mobile, he doesn't have great speed running the floor.
I feel like, I mean, I don't even know the dates on these things, but
Right.
there's definitely, like, I'm definitely not the most craziest athlete. Um, but like, I know I'm aware of that. Number one, and I try to work on it. And number two, who was the last MVP? How athletic is Nikola Jokic? That's like my biggest like thing. Like I just don't think it's like it is a factor for sure. But like if you know how to play and you can do things, it doesn't really matter too much.
Definitely. I'm gonna go to more. They ranked like 1 to 10, like things like athleticism and
Okay.
potential. So they say athleticism is a 7,
Mhm.
defense 7, strength 7, quickness 6, leadership is a 6, jump shot 8, NBA ready is 6, rebounding 8, and then potential post skills and intangibles are 7. Do any of those stick out to you?
Yeah. I think the leadership.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, oh wow.
That was like probably like the first time I ever heard that. To be honest, I think all those stuff are somewhat valid for the most part. I would surprise. Like obviously, I don't know the dates on any of those.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, like what time that was, it was probably I think especially yeah now I'd say maybe my freshman going into my sophomore year if I had to ballpark it. And I think for around that time, a good amount of those, probably like 70% of them was about right. I feel like. So like obviously I'm not the greatest player ever, so I definitely got some stuff to work on.
Yeah, but it's about growth, right? You said that was from freshman to sophomore year, so you would say that you had learned a lot about yourself since then, right?
Definitely.
And then from high school, I know even those 4 years, that's a lot of time to grow and develop. We're an All-Americans, but talk to me about that journey. I know it can't be smooth. Talk to me about, starting off as a freshman, just growing up playing and then becoming an All-American.
When I was a freshman, or I was like eighth grade, I came in. I had like a couple scholarship offers coming into high school, and then I was like with rankings, I was like 50s and 40s, so I was like known, but I wasn't like. I feel like I was disrespected, like where they put them, and so I always carried like that chip on my shoulder. But like yeah, like the journey, I had a lot of good like stuff happen. I'm very lucky and blessed to be in the position and situation I was. Like I started all 4 years on varsity, um, like all that stuff. But like, and I went to like a bunch of the highest camps, all that stuff. But like at those things though, and like playing, like it wasn't always easy. So like I had to learn. I always try to be a sponge, ask questions from either my peers that were like the same age as me and older and even younger. If I felt like they were smarter or better than something at me, and then also just like my coaches and stuff, whether it was at a camp or if it was at practice or a college coach or even some of those guys that make those rankings, I'd ask like what they think, just to try to learn and figure out like number one what they're looking for, number one what I can do to add to myself, and then like yeah like around like I would say my junior year, I started to get more traction and stuff with those rankings and stuff, and put myself in a position to be a McDonald's All-American, and I made it. It was something I'm super proud of, like just how I got there.
So you said you already had a couple offers in high school. I know one of them was San Diego State, and then of course you had different offers along the way. Which schools were reaching out to you, and how did you decide to, take your talents to USC?
San Diego State was my first college offer, officially. Nevada offered the same day. When I was in 8th grade summer going into high school, I played at San Diego State's team camp, and their coach just told me there. And then after that, like, they just slowly started to flood in all through, like, really, like, after my freshman year, I had, like, a good amount, like, some high, some low, but mainly, like, just West Coast stuff. And then sophomore year, freshman summer, going to sophomore year, that's when I got, like, a bunch. I got, like, USC, UCLA, like, almost all the Pac-12. Some SECs like Alabama and stuff like that, some ACCs, Miami, places like that. And then when I was going to my junior year, a USC spot opened at the coach position, and my dad was coaching my brother at the time. He never coached me in high school, and he applied for it, and they got him the job, and then. Yeah, like one of my best friends we were on the same Compton Magic team, and he always told me he was gonna go there. I liked UCLA a lot more. I was very much like probably gonna become a Bruin, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, like, and then so once my dad went there, like, it only made sense because USC was my number 2, and. After that, like, yeah, it was just like, it was no brainer. Always going there. Then I committed. Then Boogie was in the mix for that.
Right.
So like, yeah, it just made sense.
So playing under your dad didn't deter you in any way?
Well, we just kind of like set boundaries. And we had to, like, my freshman year, I feel like we had to like adjust them. But once we adjust them, like, ever since then, like, it's been smooth sailing, and it wasn't bad before. It was just like we got to figure out like the parameters of everything. And then once that happened, yeah, it's smooth sailing. Like, I was a little bit worried about it, but I knew it was like a better opportunity than like not. So
definitely. And I know you brought up Compton Magic before, which is one of the most successful AAU programs we see, with such a deep roster of players that come out of there. I think it was like 40 plus that made it to the league, and 100 plus Division I players. So talk to me about how Compton Magic helped develop your craft.
Man, I feel like the biggest thing they helped me with is like just being like tough and like somewhat like of a dog, and like just expanding my confidence. They really do a good job, I feel like, of breathing confidence into their players, and kind of motivating them to go get what they want. And then also surrounding yourself with elite, like, we had elite everything when I was there, like treatment in terms of like how we flew around would be like a baby step below on how we went around in college. On the road in hotels, they gave us like free reign, which most people would deter because we're like high school kids, but yeah, they just told us like, look, like, stay out of trouble, because like you get into trouble, like, it's on you, which is like the real world. Like, if I do something dumb, like, I'm gonna have to face the consequences. And so I feel like since they treated us like men and like high elite Division I basketball players, and then there's that level of talent around, it just builds you up, from your confidence, from the stages that you play on. You got, like, I've been in some of the most iconic AU games just because I was wearing that jersey.
You bring up confidence, but also I know that Compton Magic breeds or preaches brotherhood. So talk to me about how that community, that sense of community and camaraderie, drives competition.
Man, community is so like super tight knit. Like, if you say you're a Magic, like, I've run into people at just my gym that I even know at all tell me they played, and then I get the confirmation that they did, and then it's like automatically like, yo, you know what I'm saying, like, we've known each other for forever. So like that brotherhood is like unexplainable. I mean, like I got about 4 or 5 of them that go to the other LA school, and but like they know like it's Brotherhood first. Like
Right.
we could care less about really the jerseys when we're not playing. So like I talk to them daily. People in the league coming back to like the gym and stuff. And talking to people like after this, I might stop by. There's a tryout tonight. It's just like a super tight knit brotherhood, and we all like just try to use our resources to spread that throughout the program, and also like other people like in need, like giving back and stuff and charity. So it's just like a fraternity. It's truthfully like a
Yeah.
brotherhood.
And I mean, you mentioned already a couple of names, like, well, your brother for one, and then Big O, and like Johnny G. Zhang, who's like a popular name in NCAA basketball right now. So definitely fosters that success. But after high school and Compton Magic, what was that transition like to playing at a collegiate level?
First, I broke my foot coming into to college. So my last high school game was Balls Life All-American game. I played in it with Big O, with Boogie. Jaime Jaquez was there too. He goes to UCLA. Like a good amount of Pac-12 guys and guys that you see. Some people in the league now.
Yeah.
And played well. Got MVP of the game. I'm riding high, like ready, like to finally finish everything for high school, going to college. Go work out 2 days later and play in a run. Someone steps on my foot the wrong way, break it. Out for like 5 months, which was the summer though, going into it. So I got thrown right into the fire. Like I got healthy like 4 weeks before the season started. So early on though, I thought it would be easy. We played FAMU. Our first game, I had like 16, and I was like, okay, like, and then, but then like as time went on, early in the season, like I had dips, and I was like wondering, like, damn, am I good enough? Like, what happened? Like all of this and stuff. But I still like, I was confident and stuff, and I was working, so I was like, let me just trust this process, like trust it. And because then I have a good game and a bad game, but we were like loaded. We had seniors, Nick, Big O, top to bottom, Daniel, Tommy, Jonah. Like, and I had playing opportunities. Like I played like about like 20-ish, 18, 20 when I was a freshman in the game, and it wasn't easy at first, but towards the end of the season, like I caught a little stride. I had confidence in myself. I knew I was doing when I was coming off the bench, like, and yeah. And so like once I got settled, COVID hit sadly, but yeah, the transition was it was, I would say smooth but bumpy, like like speed bump bumpy,
Okay.
like, so it wasn't like completely rocky, like, and I had a great time. I learned a lot, and I'll never forget it.
Yes. You talked about like that self-doubt that you kind of had. Like, are you good enough? I want to know, after the injury that you mentioned, what was that like mentally? Because I feel like a lot of players don't really talk about that transition after an injury and how it affects their mental.
Man, it was depressing, to be honest. Also, I didn't say I broke my foot, but I didn't know it was broken. So I walked on it for like a month, thinking that I rolled my ankle. So like my last like bit of my senior year, just for regular school, we were doing like senior trips, and senior night, you know, we went to Universal and all this, and I'm walking around on this foot, like, damn, couldn't get healthy so I can start working out for college. And it was just it was depressing. Like, that's like the easiest thing to say the least. But like I had faith, and like the only thing like that made it really bad was I'm hopping like to go get food or something. I would have to like hop out, get on crutches, go down the stairs by myself, put my crutches in my car. My crutches are ginormous because I'm tall, and trying to figure it out. Then once I put the crutches in the car in the back seat, I gotta hop around on one leg, and then get in the car, and then I have to take a break because I'll be so tired from hopping and carrying and all that stuff. Um, and I didn't like it when everyone was helping me and stuff with like moving, because I feel like I would just wanted to move by myself. So it was just a lot, and like it would take a toll out of me to do like simple tasks that I could do before. And then I didn't really realize it, but like now looking back, like I wish I would have realized, like, just to be like grateful that I can walk around and stuff and jump and all that stuff. But I was just mainly like, I was just like pissed but excited because I was going to college soon. So
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, would you say, I know one of my peers, she kind of did a story on athlete injuries and what an athlete's biggest fear is, and a lot of the football players said injury. Would you consider that one of your biggest fears, and was that your first injury?
that was I had other minor injuries, but never transitioning into something big. When I was younger, like I broke like a good amount of things, fingers, collarbone, but I broke that foot, and my biggest fear now is no longer injury, because I've been through injury now, but I broke some every year of college now, like foot going in freshman year, sophomore year right before the season started, broke my finger, and then this season I just broke my nose. So but like, yeah, so injury is no longer like a factor, especially because I know how to go about it now. But initially, like, I would say like it was.
And I know in a different interview you said before that was kind of like the best basketball you were playing at that moment. So as a player, like, how do you know when you're in your bag? Like, you know?
Man, I feel like like when stuff that like you either are doing stuff that you didn't really think that you would do maybe in a game, or like something that's not, I wouldn't say out of character, but it's like that doesn't happen that much. At least that's what I know. Like if I make a move that I typically like, not like one of my basic simple go-tos, something like with a little extra on it, because maybe I had to or I was just feeling it. I feel like that's when I know I'm in my bag. And then also like the way the ball goes in, it feels a little different. Like you kind of like let it go a little earlier. You know, you just start getting in a groove. It's like dancing or something.
Earlier on, you had your injury, and you referenced that with the whole mask. You debuted yesterday. Did you channel like your inner Kobe at all, or how did that mask affect the game?
Besides early giving me a lot of discomfort, it was cool. Like that was my first time wearing it because I forgot to wear it in practice, the one practice I had, but yeah, I've been working out with it and stuff now, and so like it's getting easier to adjust to. But like I love the little Batman thing they had going and stuff.
They were saying the light skin, dark night.
Yeah, like I think all of it's cool. Like I think that's one of the great parts about college basketball, like the fun in it. But yeah, like I tried it. Like I always thought like oh wow, like you wear a mask and all that stuff. I don't know how anyone willingly, like Rip Hamilton or someone, would continuously wear it. Because as soon as I'm clear to take it off, like it will be back off. So yeah, like but I can feel like I tried to at least channel a little bit, especially in the second half.
So yeah, I want to run it back in this other segment that we call Run It Back, basically looking at different photos or captions that guests do, but for you, I'm gonna look at like some of your old highlights, and then you can let me know how you're feeling how you were feeling in that moment looking back. I'm gonna start off with, I found one from high school.
Oh shit. Yeah, this is
What was that celebration?
That was what I used to do when I was younger. I'm a little crazy. Like when I get on the court. This is in like 8th grade, actually, and this was in 7th grade right here at the John Lucas. I was working so hard for this camp before I came, and so when I finally like got the opportunity to go, I was like super excited and amped and ready. And yeah, like this right here is middle school wise is the best basketball like, I've probably ever played.
Really?
Yeah, like at this camp, like I didn't feel like anyone could stop me. I literally have like some Pac-12 and NBA teammates on some of these camps.
Oh, wow.
Like Josh Green, Jared Lucas is in here. Man, like there's Johnny Juzang I think was at this camp. Yeah, like so. Like that's 132. I'm pretty sure right there. That was Josh Green.
There was a dunk in there. When was your first dunk, like in-game dunk?
I was in 7th grade. I could already dunk like for real,
Yeah.
before I got one. And so my first game actually for Compton Magic, I was driving left. I'll never forget it. I was driving left, and then me and my dad, like we was working on like just like driving and dunking and stuff, driving in and dunking. With him like being close by me, but not like super next to me. And so I ripped it, boom, left dribble, and then I just like do like a right left step, and I lean kind of like Michael Jordan. I just boom, dunked it, and my dad had the camera, recorded it. He dropped the camera and was going crazy and stuff, and so
That's
yeah.
funny. The next one we have, oh yeah, I found this one. Matt Bradley walks to Compton Magic bench and challenges Jules Bernard, Timmy Allen, and Isaiah Mobley. So tell me what that was all about.
This was a hectic environment. I love Matt. He's a good dude, great competitor. Game was extremely chippy, and we've been going at it all day, like for the past weeks and stuff. And so it was just like a hostile hoop environment. This is what you live for, like.
Exactly.
So.
Do you remember the gist of what he was saying?
Yeah, he wanted to play us all because he knew that they were gonna lose. And I actually hit I'm pretty sure the game sealing or game winning bucket on this, and he was hot.
Clearly.
And so, but Matt's he's just a real competitor, you know. And love this environment.
I feel like that's what makes basketball games and the NBA so great. For
sure, definitely.
And then lastly, of course, the Elite Eight run.
Oh yes.
What was that like?
I'm right there on the baseline.
Yeah.
I see it coming, this was this is just one of the best things. As a big brother too, especially seeing him get the dunk of the tournament, probably the dunk of the year that year, was excellent. Beating Oregon, playing another Pac-12 school over again that we feel got the Pac-12 championship, regular season championship out of default. It was just wonderful. I'll never forget it, playing on the Pacers floor. That game was, man, it was great. The tournament and the March Madness is one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my life. So
yeah, something that every college player dreams of. But I know, well, during the tournament it was COVID, of course, and then what was that like initially, having that all go down and playing without fans?
It's the worst thing that ever happened to basketball, I think, because it just kills all energy, and of course, us players, we can create energy and stuff ourselves, but it's just not the same. Yeah, it's just not the same. It's just it doesn't defeat the home court advantage thing, but it depletes it, I would say, a lot. So having to do that was horrible, and I hope that we never ever have to do that again.
Your Elite Eight run, I know, was nominated for the LA Sports Award for Greatest Sports Moment of 2021. What do you think about that moment was so great?
It hasn't happened in 20 years to the dot. One of our staff members was a part of that team. after dealing with COVID and all that stuff, it was like it made it worth it. I feel like playing in those conditions. And then for me personally, like selfishly, I played my best basketball of the year. So um, it just for me it was like wonders. And I feel like I really found myself. Like I was down and stuff right before the tournament, and so trying to just figure myself out like as a person, like because I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and so right before like the Pac-12 tournament, going into the big dance, I found myself, and that helped me on the court, like just all confidence all around, and then yeah, the rest is history from there.
Yeah, gotta run it back.
Yeah, definitely, that's the goal this year.
You say you found yourself. What does that mean?
Like if you like for me, I feel like that season last year when I prepared really hard for in the off season. I worked super hard. Then I broke my finger and I was out for a month, and that kind of like rattled some of the my confidence and stuff with like my skill in terms of like shooting the ball and stuff like that. And so, but athletically, I still felt extremely good. But after that, I don't know, like I just wasn't the same. Like I was also like just too antsy. I wanted everything at once. Like I thought I would get all my goals and dreams, like going to the NBA just in one game, each and every game for the most part of the season. And finally, when I just relaxed and I was like, let me just go here, have fun, trust my instincts, hold my follow through, and just take it in stride like that. Then and then let's just see what happens. Because I feel like when things are shaky and people always say like, well, what if this happens? And it's typically bad on the end of that. I just kind of flipped it, and I got the idea from flipping it from Last Chance U, Netflix, the basketball one. Yeah. I know some of those kids that are on there, and I played with some of them, and I just like seeing like the passion and all that stuff, and I was like, I want that back. Like I need that, and just to have fun. Like they look like they having fun, like winning and stuff. And so I was like, all right, let me just say, like, what if it works out? Like people say, like, well, what if you miss like the game-winning shot or whatever? But no one really talks about like, what if you make it? Right. Like, and so I just kind of started thinking like that, like my 3-point percentage probably prior to that last stretch I had was like 26, which is like horrendous. And so, but then I got all the way to 43 by the end of the year, and I wasn't even on volume. So I just kept thinking like, what if I make it? And then I started making it, and I was like, it turned to what if I make it? Like I'm gonna make it, and then my confidence just has grown since then.
You talked about passion and kind of losing it. I've heard that from like a lot of different guys in like interviews with DeMar DeRozan actually. And why do you think guys lose that passion that sometimes that initially sparks them into the game?
I just feel like when you go through adversity and stuff, sometimes like it can shake you a little bit. I feel like that's one thing, whether it be adversity like injury or just not playing like as well as you want to or imagined, or even off the court stuff. Mental health, too busy, like stressed out, and so yeah, like it's those distractions I feel like are easy to cause people to lose that passion and stuff. But yeah, like for me, like to get it back, like you gotta have fun, like with it. You gotta figure out a way to have fun with it, because like no one wants to do anything that's not fun. Like just no one does. Like if they offer the option to do something fun or not fun and get the same result, they're gonna pick fun. Like
exactly.
So
yeah. I know earlier on you talked about playing every game as if like you got to make the league, you got to go pro, and you had the chance to declare for the draft with your brother. So what was that process like? For many like me and most of the world, they don't go through that process. So paint a picture of what that was like.
Like a day-to-day type?
Yeah.
Okay. So pre-draft, first I'll just give an overview. It's a extremely hard, like training basic program, but in the right sense, in the right mindset, and with the right people, I had a blast. Like this past summer was the best summer of my life. Um, like not even, and I've had extremely fun summers, but it's hard. It's hard. Like it's really hard. Like typical day, or like one of our like I would say maybe harder days. Uh, you have an early bird, so like it'll be like a couple of guys that's like your position that goes to the gym, like maybe 3 or 4 of us at like we gotta be there at like 8:30, and we'll get shots, a bunch of shots, or like work on our specific weaknesses to you, and then after that, everyone will come to the gym. You take your protein shake and your supplements every day, and then you stretch, and then you do activation and like foam roll like you have to before you step on the court. Make sure everything feels good, and if you need to get on the table and get worked on, you do that. And then training starts. We start with like some resistance bands, but like it's like hell. And then you do ball handling, and then you shoot, and you shoot, and you shoot some more. Then you run, and then you shoot, and then you run. Play a little bit here and there, and then you run some more, and then you shoot, and then you finish up, and then you go lift, like hard for like good hour 30, and then you might have to do a little extras. Like I used to do a little extra stuff, like jump rope or get on the bike, and then, but then after that, all that happens, it's about 1, you get your food, and then you do whatever you want. Anything you want, you could do. You just have time. And you
So
just
around
relax.
what time is that? You start at 8, and then by the time you're done, what time is that?
Around like 1
1 Oh, okay.
1 p.m. And then, so you're there for about like anywhere like 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
You get like little breaks out in between, but it's just hard. Like you're always doing stuff. And then, or on like our Wednesdays, we would finish at 1, go home, you eat, you chill for like an hour. Then you gotta go do recovery. And recovery was like a little bit far from us, but you go, you get Normatex, you do ice bath. If you have any injuries or bothering you, they take care of it. And then you go home, and then you just do what you want. Like me and Evan would just chill with all the guys, and like we just had like a good group of like 8 or 9, and everyone was just bought in just to making their dreams come true. And the best part I think about it is you get to just focus on yourself. Like what do I need to do better? Like when you're with the team all the time, it's like we aren't good at shooting threes or free throws. We aren't good at this, so we all got to do that. But with that pre-draft stuff, like you get to focus on you. Just like I need to shoot better. I need to be able to move faster. I need to whatever.
At the combine, I know there's other factors too, like scouts and GMs watching, and like the interview process. How intense is that?
It's intense, but like for me, I just told myself like I would go out there and I would have fun, and I did. My first interview, or I seen Johnny Juzang was there with me, and we're tight. So I see him, and he comes out the interview room like drenched.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, John, I'm airing you out. He comes out drenched, like he just worked out.
Wow.
I'm like, what happened? And I was like, were you guys playing games? Because I heard like sometimes they do that just to lighten the mood and stuff. And he was like, nah, bro, I was just sweating. Like it's just like they ask you some hard questions like.
Do you remember any of them? The questions that they asked you?
Yeah, like questions like, do you love to win or do you hate to lose more?
What did you say?
I said I hate to lose more. I think. Yeah, that's what I said. And then some random ones like to throw you off, kind of like.
Yeah, so like those trick questions.
Exactly, or even like just like mental like therapist questions, like how many ping pong balls you think would fill this room up, like.
Really?
Stuff like that, and then they'll ask you like who you compare your game to, where do you think you should be drafted, some other just like random scenarios. Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you party? Sometimes they'll try to set you up like.
Right. I mean, for those were you like, yeah, party or?
Oh yeah, like I mean, honestly, when you prepare, because you do interview preparations too,
Uh-huh.
like with the pre-draft training, so all that stuff. But you also do like how to answer questions and stuff. So I was prepared, but like, yeah, I mean, in a sense, they tell you just be yourself and like tell the truth.
Okay.
Now, how you tell them is like I guess a strategy or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just really like I just be myself. Like, yeah, I do, but I I I put my work first always. So
Exactly. Okay. Damn. He was drenched.
yeah, and I was too after mine. I was definitely too. So
We talked about how intense that whole process was, and we know getting into the NBA is very small percentage. So for you, going through that experience and then coming back to SC, how would you differentiate, a pro player and just like a collegiate player? What's the difference?
wow, you got some great questions. I feel like seeing it now, and I feel like being a part of it, I guess, on both ends. The difference between a pro and a college player, it's very circumstantial, but like the most general answer I can give you is, um, like a pro is it's just like they know how to like assert themselves, or their presence will always be felt. Versus a collegiate player, it can be felt and they'll do certain things the right way, but like also like I feel like when you're a pro, um, you have like a little bit of more oomph to you, like in like the urban terms, I guess, like
Yeah.
a little more like I guess nuts.
Okay.
So you're like a little more
That
like
it factor.
exactly
Okay.
like, but like in how in whatever their strengths way though, like not just like some pros in all
Right.
matters they have that it factor, but like for some it's just like if they shoot it like you that presence, like even if they're not even shooting it, like like I can't leave this dude open, like or else he's gonna kill me, like so yeah, like that's the biggest difference I guess that you
Yeah.
can say.
So then what did you gain from that whole process?
I got a lot stronger and faster, I feel like, and just better with my body, with some of those comparisons and things they said on there. I could shoot a lot better. I learned the game, how to play, definitely, and then it just gave me a lot of confidence. I feel like going out there to the combine and being able to play well like I did, told me like I could play with anybody, and I feel that way.
Yeah, definitely. And then your brother being number 3 pick, what was that moment like for you as an older brother and just that family moment?
I was extremely proud, he's been killing it ever since, and like I'm happy. I'm just happy for him. Like I'm glad I could be a part of it. So
Definitely. Another SC player, DeMar DeRozan, in the league now. I want to introduce the facts or cap segment, which is just true or false. I'll say one quote from him, and then you can tell me if you agree or disagree.
okay.
So he says, you got to be able to take criticism if you want to be anything close to great, even if it's not true.
I feel like that's very very true. Because if you like, I tell all my young guys like to ask me for advice. This actually, like if no one can tell you anything, bro, number one, you're probably as best as you're ever gonna be right now, because you're never gonna learn anything. And number two, I tell them like, how do you think anyone figured anything out? Like I was like, think back to when you were in elementary school. They talk about the Greeks and they ask all these questions, what, how, and when, and why, and all this stuff. And I was like, and all your favorite players, you may or may not hear about it, but they all ask or they go and figure out somehow to learn. So yeah, I'm like, you've got to take criticism, whether it's true or not. And how you use the criticism is at your discretion, but yeah, you got to be able to take criticism.
Can you remember a specific moment where you were giving criticism and did it enable you to, be a better player?
Yeah, I think I've taken both forms of criticism, like true and not true. And yeah, it has helped me be both as a better player and just as a person. Like, just be like, okay, that's how you feel, and maybe they're right. And so I take it into consideration. I try to figure out how can I take that information and apply it to myself. And then also, like when they give me criticism that I just don't agree with, I just put a chip on my shoulder and
Yeah.
be like, okay, if that's how you feel,
Huh.
I'll change that. Like,
Yeah.
no problem.
Is there anything specific that you can remember anyone saying that kind of resonated?
Um, Besides like blatant statements like you won't make it, like like no.
I mean, you're doing something right because you are now like one of the main leaders of the team at SC. How did you take any mentality from the draft and apply it to this season now?
Yeah. I mean, like since I've learned, I feel like I've learned how to be a pro. I just kind of apply that and spread that same wisdom that I learned to my teammates, so that we can all be pros and we can all help ourselves. And which I think, if we all help ourselves, then we can help the team.
Definitely.
So yeah.
How do you see players like Boogie? We talked before. Boogie, Chavez, how have they helped impact the team?
They're just both of them are dynamic. I feel like any given night, they can give you buckets or defensive stops or steals or blocks. So I feel like, yeah, having them around is definitely like a pro for our team, and yeah, they're both great.
And we see it as a result of the season. The USC UCLA game we talked about previously. I know your teammate Reggie is in one of my classes actually, and our professor asked him about the game and what that was like, and what he said was it was special to him even more than the Elite Eight run because of how packed Galen was and having those fans. For you, even though you weren't playing, what was so special about that game for you?
I mean, for me, it's extremely special because I love, obviously, Galen. The atmosphere in Galen was crazy. I've been a part of both heartbreakers that we gave to UCLA. And so it was just like flashbacks to that. And then also, I got all some of my closest people playing on the other team. So it's like an extra oomph behind it.
Exactly.
And yeah, like it was just like wondrous. Like it's any player's dream. So
There's definitely a lot of hype with USC, both football and basketball now. So what do you think goes into creating a winning environment?
just the culture. I feel like you have the right culture, along with some of the right pieces, both on the floor and like administrators and coaches and stuff. I think you can create like a winning environment just on campus all the way around. Like, and I feel like USC has that. Obviously, not everyone is going to be as successful as everyone else, but like, and there's going to be different waves of who is successful. But I feel like, yeah, if you have a winning culture and everyone's bought in, then the sky's the limit.
Like I said, just a great season so far, and for you, you've already had a lot of accolades from it's like the John Wooden Watch List, Naismith Trophy Player of the Year. Do you use those certain awards and accolades as like a benchmark of success as a player, or is there something bigger that you want to achieve?
Actually, now that you said that, at least during the season, maybe after, I always saw it as like, until I got the award, I was like, I didn't really like. Typically, I've never seen a list that I actually like when it comes to names, other than if my name's at the top. Like, it's just like, cause I'm just like, too competitive. So, I think it's great, and I'm grateful I'm on those lists and all that stuff. This stuff is cool, but like I want to win it. Like, I don't want to, like, it's for me. It's not really enough that for me just to be on the list. Like, that's cool, but like I just want to win it. Like, I just want to win it.
Yeah,
That's all.
exactly. So then I know earlier on in the year I talked to you about NIL, and it's been a minute. That was like in September. It's now February. So what's been the biggest changes? Yeah.
Well, definitely not rich yet, but no, it's still been good though. Definitely good. It's definitely fruitful, and I'm super glad that it's passed. I've made some like good amount of money, and just like also just I think it's great too, especially for college athletes, is just to learn like how to do business.
Right.
I did sign with an NIL agent, but I have done a couple deals on my own, and just like being able to do that stuff, I feel like I've learned a lot, and what to do and what not to do and how to go about certain things and stuff. And so that's been great. And then also just having like a little more financial stability,
Definitely.
like being a college student. Yeah, it just provides more and more opportunities to go do stuff that maybe I wasn't able to do before, because I have a deal or I have now the money to go do so. And so it's been great, especially living in a city like LA.
For sure.
It does. I mean, there's competition. I mean, Braun plays down the street, so
Right.
you don't get everything, but you do get good deals, and LA's expensive to live in, so like the
Yeah.
extra money, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to go to McDonald's anymore. We can up it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you have a dream deal?
Actually, I do. Hopefully, it comes true. I'll say it.
Okay.
Yo, if Porsche, you wanna do a car deal,
Hit him
or
up.
honestly, anyone want to do a car deal, that would be great. Because I've really been into cars, and a jewelry deal.
Okay.
Those two.
You're trying to be iced out.
Just a little something. I don't like anything crazy, but just
Nothing crazy, just
something solid.
something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
With all these deals, what is the importance of athletes utilizing their platform, whether big or small?
It's extremely important. But I love what Instagram and people are doing. I feel like they're making it easier. Now you can do like we post something like together. We can have it
Yeah.
posted together. Oh, I love that because I'm on Instagram regularly, but I just don't post all the time.
Yeah.
Because I just don't take pictures of myself that much, and like it's just a whole thing. But
Right.
but I do like to be on there, and I would say I'm active. I just don't post crazy. I do plan on posting more just how to help build my platform. But yeah, like they're making it easier and more accessible to everyone, and different people who maybe aren't as interested in Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. But yeah, use your platforms, show your hidden talents. People love that stuff
Do you
because
have
it can
any?
help you make money. Not really. I know a little bit of magic
Oh,
here and there,
okay.
but
He's
other than that, yeah, I feel like honestly though, no. One hidden talent I do have is I feel like I'll be really good on like game shows and stuff like that. I know a lot of like random and like weird facts.
Interesting. Okay. That also goes to athletes, utilizing their voices. And I know you and Ethan were like spokespeople for the team during the whole George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Black Lives Matter movement. How did that come about, and what did that role entail?
Yeah, so some of the student body and like the BSA, the Black Student Union, they wanted to make like a platform or a place like where we could speak out and figure out how we can help with the cause and stuff. And Coach picked me and Ethan as captains just to do so, and I think that was great gesture by the school and by the students to get that done.
Yeah.
And I applaud them for doing so, to give us the opportunity to like last year we wore Black History Month shirts and stuff like that, and so we felt heard and all that stuff, which is important.
For sure. And on that note of like making a change and a difference, you're with Wasserman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ted, one of the talent VPs, he actually came to one of our classes as a guest speaker, and on the subject of NIL, he was saying how he was picking a handful of different athletes and people that were making a difference and could change the culture. So in what way do you want to change the culture essentially?
I want to change the culture, like, so I mean I could say it. So I did a deal with the Athletic Brewing Company, which is a partner of USC, and I was the first person to ever do an NIL deal in Galen. So it's small, but it's a
History.
start.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that. Like, and it's baby, but like small steps make big steps, and
Exactly.
so I think just having that opportunity to be the first class to go through NIL and stuff is super cool to me. I have some other stuff. I'm not sure if I can say it yet, but soon or I could say this, around the UCLA at their spot game, there will be some stuff for me more personalized. So if y'all are
Be
interested,
ready.
check it out. I'd love if you made a purchase.
Yes.
So yeah, and I've done that. And
Do
like
you
a
still,
different
I don't know
type
if
of
this
deals.
is, but beforehand you were talking about the bobbleheads. Is that still in the works?
Possibly.
Possibly.
And I think yeah, I have some stuff coming out. And so yeah, just stay on my page. It's just my name, Isaiah Mobley, and yeah, and then you'll see what I got dropping.
For sure. I feel like it's with NIL, it's like an investment into the athletes and the individuals. What do you think your value is essentially?
Like monetarily or just to the whole idea of it?
We can do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm worth a good amount.
Yeah.
Especially like how USC, our team is doing this year, and then me as well. Out of at least we could say the basketball athletes in college, I feel like I'm in the upper scale, not the highest room,
Yeah,
but I'm not far from it. I feel like I haven't exploited this more just because like I'm more focused on the season and stuff.
Right.
But like, I mean, I do have a brother that plays in the NBA.
Exactly.
So like we might be able to make some commercials or something.
You know, something.
Yeah, like I think monetarily I'm in a good space, I could say.
Yeah.
And then just like to the whole ideology of it, I feel like a pioneer. Even if it's just going to be at USC or the West Coast or whatever, I get to do some stuff first, which I think is super cool, and I take pride in, and I plan on passing on what to do and not to do to the next ones that come behind me.
Now your Instagram bio says peace and prosperity, which speaks to like that wealth and success. What is the importance of having that
Peace and
in
prosperity.
your bio?
Peace, number one, is the most important. Like I tell my teammates all the time, like if someone offered me $1 billion or just peace of mind, I would take peace of mind. Just because to me, like that's most important for both on and off the court. Like I don't think anything that we think is so important and so like that we value so much that it doesn't even actually mean anything. It sometimes just needs to be scaled down. Like people trip all the time. I see it at USC if they get an F, right?
Yeah.
But like an F really is just a letter.
Right. Like what does that really mean?
Exactly.
You know?
So like that doesn't mean you're like sure it might set you back if it's a final. Like obviously you have to understand value and take that seriously, but it shouldn't kill your peace of mind.
Exactly.
Ever. And same thing with basketball. Like I tell my teammates, like I treat the game like a competitive game of Monopoly. Like whether there's 25,000 or there's just no fans. Because if I take it too serious, I try to never let the game ruin my day.
Okay.
So if I had a bad practice where I was missing or bad game even, of course I'm gonna want to get better. I'm gonna look back and learn to fix it and stuff. But I'm not gonna be down in the dumps and sorrow because it's just a game. Like it's not life or death. Like stuff could be way worse. I could be hungry. I could be like homeless and stuff like that. And so like yeah, it's just that's why I have peace and prosperity in my bio.
Now we all know. So then I'm gonna end it off with a little lighter question, speed rounds.
Okay.
Who do you play? Who's your team in 2K?
Who's my team in 2K? The Cavs.
Okay, that makes sense. I know you took a sign language class in high school. Can you show off a little? Do you remember anything?
Yeah, my name, ISAIAH MOBLEY.
Period. Pre or post game meal?
Post game, because you get more freedom with what you can eat.
What do you normally eat?
They have food for us after. Sometimes like it's healthy. Sometimes like in between, like Chick-fil-A or something. But if it's like a big win or something, I like to go. With me and my family, we go to Fixins. It's like a little soul food spot in downtown. That's cool. Or even just like yeah, like a little Chick-fil-A or like a dabble of ice cream, not too much, just a
Not
little
too
bit,
much.
just a little bit after the game.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Back to kind of 2K. How would you rate yourself if you were?
If I,
What would your 2K
I was
rating
in the
be?
game, my 2K rating would be I'll be at 84
Okay.
with a A-3 and a A-3 and a B playmaking, and the rest of the game guys can.
Okay.
Can
That's
do.
solid.
Yeah.
Name me 3 things that you think are P.
Oh, P. Being kind.
Okay.
That's P.
Okay, that's P.
Being loyal. That's P.
Okay.
And having fun. That's P.
Kind, loyal, and having fun. That's P for sure. So then lastly, you say you're a pretty good trash talker. I've heard in previous interviews. What gets you going?
Well, there's a bunch of different things. Like the crowd is the easiest one to trash talk to. No one in the Pac-12 this year has really talked to anything to me, like actual trash.
Okay.
They've tried.
They've
but
tried.
I can't. Like in college, there's so much to think about in the game that it's hard to. I feel like in the NBA, I mean, I haven't been there, so I wouldn't know, but like, it's a different format of how things work, especially like on offense and defense and stuff. So it's a little easier to talk trash, and there's a little like not more breaks, but like stops and stuff in place, where you might not be moving and stuff. But yeah, like, or sometimes like I'll not trash talk to myself, but I'll be like.
Just hype yourself up.
Yeah, like yeah, you're nice or something like that. But nah, I am the really big trash talker though. That is true. Especially like even just like Monopoly or ping pong.
Anything, just that competitive nature.
Mm-hmm.
So lastly, I do like to end on a segment, put us on, so you can put us on anything that you're feeling that maybe you think is low key. It can be like a music artist, restaurant, anything you want to put us on. Now is your chance.
You got some fire segments.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put you on. Oh, boom, got it. Put you on one of the homies' brands, one of my favorite brands. Like people see me wear all the time. Better Days. Shout out to Julian. Put you on. If you're not already on, you need to be on DoorDash. It's elite. That takes all my NIL money. So DoorDash.
Get a brand deal with them.
Yeah, you want to give me a deal, bro? Please, it's whatever.
It's raps.
That and then being a little financial literate. Don't spend all your money. Save your monny.
I heard you're into stocks.
I am. I'm into stocks. I'm into making money because I like spending money. So that's what I can put y'all on.
All right. Perfect. So that wraps it up. I appreciate you so much for joining me. As you guys know, like, subscribe, support on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and then all the content related to Closing will be on Instagram at Closing Podcast. So you can follow me there. But thank you all, and I'll see you guys next time.